This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio, where Irv and myself broadcast live at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And if you're listening to us, then you know that this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We encourage you to give us a phone call if you want to join in the conversation. What we discuss is for you. It's about you. It's one entrepreneur or two entrepreneurs to another. And if you want to give us a call, do so at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Irv.
Yes, sir.
How was your day today, sir?
Wow. What a fast day today.
What is today? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Hump day?
Hump day.
Middle of the day. Middle of the week. Right?
Middle of the week, and let me tell you what, I was crawling to get over that thing today.
It was going good, though, huh?
It was going good. You know, people, we have this seminar that we do.
Right. We got one coming up on Friday.
Got one coming up on Friday. It's going to be at the Kingdom Builder Center here in Houston, over at 6011 West Durham. By the way, if you're listening and you're in the Houston area, or if you're listening around the country and you know someone who is in the Houston area, feel free to contact them. It's a free seminar. We're going to be out there at 10 a.m. On Friday morning. That's Friday the 1st, I think it is. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's the 1st.
Yeah, Friday the 1st. And so we're going to be out there. Come on out and meet me. We're going to talk about government contracting opportunities, how to increase your sales by using government contractors, making government agencies your customer. Now, if you want more information about that, you can give us a call at 800, that's 800-381-0073, and let us know you want to be on the list, and we'll make sure we get you registered. But today, John, people who have been through the training.
Okay, these are people who took the class. So how many weeks is the class? The official class that you took?
Well, the official class is 12 hours.
It's 12 hours.
Yeah, it's 12 class hours. So,
and is that's spread out over
a 4 or 5 day period, kind of depending on when the weekends fall. Right?
Okay.
But so if there's holidays in there, of course, we stretch to 5 days. But
gotcha.
It's a 4 or 5 day class time, so it's 12 class hours, and it's pretty intense, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But these were people who who've graduated from the course, and because they've graduated from the course, and because they have also gotten access to some working capital and credit since then, we had the opportunity to bring them into our transit authority here in Houston, which is called Metro.
That's right.
And have these guys literally come in and get certified and registered with Metro. So they started the certification process, I should say.
Okay.
But they all got registered as vendors and suppliers to Metro.
Man.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Let me tell you what, John.
So you walk them into Metro.
Yeah, walk them in.
And they got an opportunity to meet whom?
Well, they got a chance to meet all of the folks at the Office of Small Business at Metro. And what a great group of people they have down there. And literally, as a result of their support for this program, these guys literally got the benefit of coming in and setting their businesses up where they can start generating sales to our transit authority here.
Wow. So they're going to have an opportunity, as you said, to get certified.
Sure.
And
registered. Yeah, so it's a two-step process. First of all, any government agency, you have to first register as a vendor. That's step one.
Okay.
And then if you happen to be a woman-owned business, a veteran or minority, or if you're just a small business, like in the case of most transit authorities, they're not race or gender driven. They're size driven.
Okay.
So very different.
And size means it's according to sales.
Yeah, well, size meaning you have to have
employees.
No, it's net worth actually. You have to be under 1.3 million.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're under that, then you're considered a small business in their circles.
Wow, and that is a small number.
Yeah, that is a small number, and that's the point.
Wow.
Yeah, so you have to be under 1.3 million to be eligible to come under the benefit of small business. But let me tell you what, man, we had the best time. Now, it was work time. Don't get me wrong.
Right. It wasn't you weren't up there vacation.
No, it was not a vacation by any stretch. But, you know, it was so great to have a group of entrepreneurs working together for a common goal. And everybody wanted to be there. Everybody was glad to see one another. And it was really cool because a lot of these folks, John, because they had been through different classes in our program, had never met each other.
Right.
And, you know, I knew everybody, but everybody didn't know everybody else. And so that was kind of a cool thing.
Now, how many people did you have there today?
I want to say about 50.
Not bad.
Yeah, about 50 people representing 33 companies, because some of those folks were partners.
We're together.
Yeah. Some of them are partners and partnerships and so on. So, you know, when you got some of those partnerships, you know, you got 2 people and sometimes 3 people.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, all of these folks had been through the training, and it was really fantastic.
Now, you know, that is an amazing feat in and of itself.
No
because,
doubt.
Although someone can get certified and registered without going through your course.
Absolutely.
But what are the chances that you're going to be able to walk in and get the type of reception that you and your group got today if you were to go it on your own? And see, and that's one of those things that Irv and I talk about on this show all the time. It's about who you know. It's about who you align yourself with. Irv is a consultant on many levels, and you're able to walk these people in and get the support from the buyers and from the small business department there. And now I have to ask you, how long has this course been going on? How long have you been doing this for those who may not be familiar?
Well, actually, we started doing this course. In fact, I'm glad you brought that up, John, because we actually started doing this course 2 years ago in a place called Jasper, Texas. And I have a very good friend who's probably going to faint because his name is Trodney Byerly.
Man, Trodney.
Trodney, like Rodney, but Trodney.
Trodney, okay.
Byerly.
All right.
And he is a big time citizen person in the Jasper, Texas area.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him, and rightly so, because he's certainly contributed heavily to the community. He's given sacrificially, and he came from Jasper, Texas to this meeting today.
Really?
But because he was the very first graduate from our program.
Is that right?
And wow, what an element did he add to the meeting today, because it was almost like he was the old patriarch in the bunch, because everybody else came after him.
No doubt. And he's the older statesman.
He's the elder statesman of the bunch, and it was really interesting for him to take the time to come all the way out here to Houston. Kudos to you, my friend. And boy, he came out. He shared with the folks his experiences, and he ended it with, folks, the program works.
Yeah.
But you have to work it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like anything else. It's like any small business, and I'm certain that the types of people who watch this show can appreciate that.
No doubt.
Everything that we talk about on this show takes effort. There is some work involved in everything that we discuss on this show.
Absolutely.
There is no free ride. There is no shortcut. This is not the shortcut show.
No.
This is Small Business Today, and we talk about business strategies, things that you can employ in your business that will help you find certain success. And even your program is a testament to that. Now, one of the things that we don't talk about that often is how we're developing and building our own businesses.
Sure.
But I have to mention that the program that you have here is gaining momentum.
No doubt.
I mean, it's evident just that the number of people who attended your free session.
Right.
You know how popular this is getting.
That's exactly right.
But then, in addition to that, you have great contacts. You have contacts with the state government here, with Metro.
Sure.
You do business with
Port.
The Port of Houston.
Yep.
And I know that you're working to get this sort of open door policy for your graduates on all levels.
That's exactly right.
With these organizations.
That's exactly right.
Guys, one of the things that you want to do is become an alum of this program. Because as Irvin rolls these different things out, it's only going to benefit those who have taken the course, who have the certificate.
Right.
And not to mention, you're also helping them find the financing that they need to satisfy a contract if and when they're able to secure one.
And really,
and I use the word if.
Yeah.
If you put the effort behind it.
Absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. I appreciate that, John. And one of the big things about this that happened today is, believe it or not, one of the suppliers that heard about the program, wanted to support the program, came in from Little Rock, Arkansas, to attend the program to meet these folks and make credit available to all of them who are coming through the program and getting certified, because he's trying to get his product into the government space. How cool is that?
That is very cool.
And boy, I tell you what, we had a big time today, John.
Now, if you're in the Houston area, you'd like to come and attend the free 2-hour course. It just gives you an overview of what's involved when selling to the government. Also, what's involved when you work with Irv.
Sure.
And you let him assist you in that effort. The course, again, is this Friday at 10 a.m. February 1st. It's going to be at the address of 6011 Orem. And that is the Kingdom Builder Center.
Right.
And if they want to register, how do they do so?
www.net30credit.com.
net30credit.com. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about more business strategy today. I think we're going to talk a little bit about the 4 H's today.
4 H's. Yesterday was 4 P's, so we're moving down.
And not to mention, guys, if you're not doing business in the state of Texas and you're outside of the footprint, you still want to get with Irv and put a lot of pressure on him to get that web element so that you can take this course, because even though you have a business that may be outside of the state, you can still do business with our state government and our local government here in Houston.
The principles are the same, folks.
All right. As you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. We talk about business success stories and business strategies. To get your free copy of what we produce each and every month, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com, input your information, and we'd love to send you one each and every month. Stay with us. More in a moment with John Cruz and Irv Hughes.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Irv and I are talking about the 4 H's today. We've had a show where we talked about the 11 principles to wheeling and dealing. We had a show where we talked about the 4 P's, and we were not talking about the 4 P's of marketing. We were talking about the 4 P's. And I don't know what I could put on the back of that. It's not the 4 P's of marketing, but it's...
No, it's interesting because, we really were talking about intangibles.
Right.
And so it's kind of tough to put that into words, actually, because each one of those P's that we talked about, John, are really things that can sink you. Even
Certainly.
if you have a great business model,
right.
If you don't implement the 4 P's, you can really get yourself in a lot of hot water and wind up upside down and out of business anyway.
You know what I do like, though? I do like when I see a business that's doing relatively well, and you drill down on some of these points and you talk about these business principles that have to exist in order for a business to be successful. And I love it when someone is doing the right thing, but yet they don't really know that they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, they're unconscious about that they are doing the right thing.
Right. And the 4 P's is that right thing. This is that thing that when you see any successful organization, you can pretty much measure or match their success against the 4 P's, and those P's are in the right order, which is one of the reasons why they find that success.
That's correct.
And how much more productive it makes you when you're able to identify that this is something that I need to include in my Shaolin technique.
That's exactly right. And you know what? When you know what they are, you can step on the gas in those areas.
That's exactly right.
You can accelerate those areas, and that's fantastic. That's
well, today we're going to talk about the 4 H's, and the first H.
Yes.
And the P's and the H's work hand in hand.
Right. We should say that.
We have to say that.
Yeah.
And the first H is head. And when we say head, we mean the head that's on your shoulders. And if I may lead off, I don't mind batting first.
Okay.
When we say head, we say head, it means that your ideas and your creativity comes from the head. So you have to protect your head. You have to remain clear, and you also have to invest in your head.
No doubt.
There was a study that was done years ago by I think it's the insurance department, and they said something to the point, and I have the exact numbers written down somewhere, but they said something to the point to where the average American spends a little over $5,000 a year on items that affect the outside of the head. That means facials, grooming, beauty products. I think they even included dental care in that. And these are all things that hairdos, hair pieces, weave, you name it. It's about $5,000 per person that we spent on just items that affect the outside of the head. Now, what do you think the number was for the number of people who have read a book after high school or invested in some type of training that could benefit them after formal education?
They should have spent at least half that.
You would think?
At least half.
But no, a little less than that.
A little less than half.
A little less than half.
So people on average spent $5,000 a year on the outside of their head and less than half that on the inside.
Less than half.
Wow.
$200.
No, that's way less than half, John.
Can you believe that?
No, because it's out of whack.
The average person spends less than $200 a year on information that affects the inside of the head. Now, when you hear that, where do you rank in that?
Yeah.
Where do you rank?
Yeah.
Now, I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Sure.
Dollars on books, tapes, CDs,
absolutely,
seminars,
workshops, boot camps, airline tickets, hotel.
That's right.
That's right. Everything that goes with that.
And we have traveled to faraway places to get an hour's worth of information from someone.
Absolutely.
And but where does that rank for you as an entrepreneur? How much money did you spend last year on items that affect the inside of your head?
Mm-hmm.
And if the inside of your head is truly where your wealth lies, what are you doing to enrich yourself?
Wow. That's heavy, man.
And here's the thing. My belief is that I feel sorry for very few people on this planet.
Right.
Especially as it relates to business. Now, I'm not talking about some of the other
I understand
things
what
that
you
we
mean.
can get into.
Sure.
But for the most part, people are exactly where they should be.
That's exactly right.
If I looked at your habits, if I looked at where you spend your time and where you spend your money,
right,
and then I measure that by where you are, you're right where you should be.
Absolutely. And let me tell you what, and here's the biggie, John. It's whether we will admit that or not.
That's right.
See, I've, in my business career, I've not yet gotten nearly to where I feel like I should be. That's not the point. The point is do I continue to build and grow so that I can have progress toward the mark? Now, I play a rotten trick on myself because every time I think I'm getting close to where I think I should be, I move the city limits.
As well, you should.
I move the goal.
You should.
Because now a lot of people say, well, I want to achieve the goal. Well, okay, fine. That I get that. I do. But quite honestly, I personally have some issue with hitting goals too quickly.
Yeah.
I start to feel like I missed the mark.
Yeah.
And so I'll adjust the goal, quite frankly, to keep it out in front of me.
Absolutely.
Now, that might be a rotten trick to play on yourself, but I do that. So what I'm getting at is I rarely hit the numbers that I set for myself because that's how I personally keep my standards high. Some people have to feel that achievement. They have to feel like, hey, I hit the number I set for myself, and that's fine. And it works for perhaps most people. I'm one of those. I need to have a goal that's so huge that I'm going to have some things outside of me help me make that happen.
And I'm that type of individual myself.
Sure.
Meaning that I want to keep myself under the gun, under pressure,
right,
to do better,
right,
and to really pull me outside of my comfort zone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right there.
But if I set my goals where they're easily attainable, then what am I working towards?
Right.
How is that making me better?
Yeah.
If my target is only 10 foot away and I'm able to hit it 10 times out of 10.
Yeah. See, it can't be that simple and still have growth. That's just in my mind. Now, again, hey, if you want to refute that, certainly you guys can join in the conversation. You can join in the chat room, or you can give us a call up here and give us a piece of your mind. Just don't give us so much that you don't have any left. But the point is that a lot of times, getting your head in the game.
Right.
That's what I was going to chime in and kind of support what you were saying there, and I totally agree. You have to have your head in the game.
Right.
And that means that you limit distractions. Protect your head, folks.
Right.
You're going to have all manner of things start vying for your time, your attention, your resources. And the next thing you know, you have white noise. It's kind of like you're between channels. I don't know. I'm dating myself, but yeah. I grew up in an era
this is before digital radio,
where there was no digital radio and there was no digital television and there was no such thing as a remote. You taught your children how to count by saying, hey, channel 4. Channel 11, channel 39, channel 26. I mean, and so you learn to count that way. But if you ever got the dial between channels,
yeah. The music just isn't as clear as you know it should be.
It's just not what it should be.
And that's a good point. And I think being in between dials is just like not quite being what you know that you're capable of. And
right.
The bottom line is that you have untold power. And you cannot achieve that power until you first clear your head and secondly, you invest in your head. And the thing that I marvel at is when I look at that number, how much money the average American spends on things that affect the outside, and how little we invest on what's on the inside. And it's what's on the inside of the head that builds the reality that we all live in.
Yeah. And, I would venture to say if we went back and measured it, and I'll have to probably look at a tax return or something, but as we were talking about this, I was just thinking, and I think I'm probably around $6,000 to $8,000 a year that I spend. And this is all together. I'm talking about all because I travel. Look, I will if I find out that there's somebody who's got some information that I think I can benefit from. Right. I don't care if they're in Peru.
I don't either.
I'm going to Peru.
In New Zealand.
Yeah, I really don't care. And quite honestly, I'm amazed at how people say, well, I went to Peru to get this information to meet this guy, but you know what? The scrambled eggs over there were terrible. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I guess if that's what you went for.
Were you going for breakfast, really?
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, you should have waited until the DVD came out. But I understand what you're saying, and that's heavy stuff right there.
We're talking about the 4 H's. The first H is head. If your head isn't right, nothing else in your business is going to be right. You have to make certain that you invest in your head. Your head has to be dedicated to what you're doing. You have to be convinced beyond any shadow of a doubt. One of the things that we say that you can achieve and receive anything, any goal that you set for yourself, as long as one of two things doesn't happen. As long as you don't change your mind, and secondly, as long as you don't allow someone else to change your mind. But when you come back, when we come back, we're gonna talk about the other H's. There are 3 more, so please stick around with us.
Absolutely. So, folks, you know what? As we go away and take this short break, here's a question to ask yourself while we're away, and that's this: is someone else changing your channels in your head? Does someone else have your remote? Think about that. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by DirecTV with over 285 channels and NFL Sunday ticket packages start at just $29.99 a month. You can sign up today at 888-344-9296. More in a moment. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
excuse me, heavy news?
Disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee News. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn to do so on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Steve, Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you want to join the conversation, you can give us a call at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here to the studio is 347-857-3958, or you can go to Blog Talk and jump right in the chat room and put some information in or put a question in, and Stephen K. will make certain that it comes to our attention. Now, today we're talking about the 4 H's. We left off in the last segment talking about head.
Right.
Head is the first H, and how important it is to get your head right. Get your head not only in the game, but to invest in your head. If you look at the success equation that I always extol on this show, it begins with knowledge.
Right.
And knowledge, in my opinion, Irv, is not power.
Absolutely not.
Knowledge is the potential for power.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
It's knowledge plus planning plus massive action.
Right.
Equals success.
Right.
So knowledge in and of itself is nothing. So you do have to put some action behind it. But head was the first stage. Now we're talking about, in this segment, heart.
Right. Right, John. One of my favorites.
I was talking to Bertrand McHenry, and Bertrand is a black belt. And
yeah.
I don't know what discipline he's in.
I understand.
But
it doesn't matter.
He and I love watching. It doesn't matter. You're
absolutely right. If he's got a black belt,
right.
2 things. He can give one and he can take one.
It could be a knuckle thump.
That's exactly
right. But the thing that I like is that Bertrand and I, we love watching MMA fights.
Sure.
And sometimes we'll see a guy who's a little less talented
than
his opponent.
Right.
And one of the things that Bertrand said, he said that, I just love it when I see a guy who's less talented out-heart a guy who has more talent.
Yes.
And when we talk about heart, and that being the second H, there are a few things that come to mind. The first thing that comes to mind for me is that your heart has to be totally invested in what you do.
Absolutely.
Secondarily to that, your heart has to be totally dedicated to your fellow man, which means that your success is more than just you.
Right.
That you care about the people on your team.
Right.
You care about the people that you serve.
Right.
Okay. And then, your heart has to be convinced.
Yeah.
That to me, the heart is the equivalent of that level of passion that you always talk about.
Exactly right.
You got to be passionate.
Well, that's exactly right. And the truth is, when you say something to somebody in your business, whether they're in your business, whether they're a customer, whether they're an investor, whether they're a vendor or a supporter, when you say something, do you mean it? And can people trust that you mean exactly what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this doesn't mean you're a master communicator.
Yeah.
But do they get what you mean when you speak? Even if you don't speak clearly, even if you don't speak well, even if you don't speak the language.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people go into foreign countries and do seminars, John, where they're speaking through an interpreter, but the heart of that person resonates with the crowd more than the words do, because that comes out.
That feeling
comes out. If somebody has been hurt,
mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter whether you speak their language or not. It doesn't matter what level you're communicating on, because your heart tells you that person is in pain.
Mm-hmm.
because that's the part of you that's that part of you that's resonating.
Yeah.
It's no different than if an animal can tell that a human is afraid of it.
Yeah. It
right?
feels that.
It can feel that.
Right.
It can smell that.
Right.
There's something else about your heart.
That sixth sense.
That it's that sixth sense, and a lot of times people don't often develop it until they're way along in their years.
Mm-hmm.
The earlier, I believe, that you can develop that, and again, I'm going to use the word develop. Now, we're talking about heart here. Developing your heart early, as early as you possibly can, to work in your favor. And watch this, John. A person with a good heart will attract other people with good hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And when they attract, no matter how inadvertent, somebody that doesn't have a good heart, that person is going to be uncomfortable, because now you got people who are incompatible.
Right.
And unfortunately, oftentimes it even happens in marriages. It happens in relationships and business partnerships, things like that, where people are incongruent.
Right.
When it comes to matters of the heart.
Certainly.
And boy, you better be careful right there, because now you're playing with fire.
You know, when we talk about heart, I'm also reminded of a word that you use quite frequently on this show. And to me, evangelism
absolutely
has a lot to do with the heart.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been sold or pitched by someone who was lukewarm on their product and just weren't completely invested into either who they were or what they were selling?
Right.
And what's the first thing that we say? His heart ain't in it.
Yeah, his heart just ain't in it.
It ain't in it.
No, he could care less.
He could care less. And I don't know one person that has amassed a fortune, that has done anything noteworthy, if their heart is not 100% in who they are and what they're doing, the team that they're a part of, the product that they push. Your heart has to be in it. Once your head is dedicated and you're not going to let anybody change your mind or turn you around, you're laser focused, and then your heart is following your head,
right,
which means that you're doing this to benefit your fellow man. You're doing this because it feels right.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this. This is what gets you out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Already, I believe that you're on the rails of success at that point.
No doubt about it. And not only that, but heart, John, will sustain us through difficult and dark times. Oftentimes, we'll hit spots in business and during the course of our development where we've hit slippery spots.
Right.
We all talk about it. We hit slippery spots. We hit difficult spots. We hit dark spots, or we just get derailed altogether. And so now we're dealing with all that comes with those things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're able to protect your heart and keep your heart pure, and keep your purposes pure, and keep your objectives pure, that will sustain you even through dark and difficult times, because you will know in your heart of hearts, if you will, that you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's just now a matter of time, a matter of energy and effort directed toward a worthwhile purpose, if you will, that will bring you through. And it's a cool thing if you can get there. And so many people allow their heart to be corrupted by outside forces, sometimes well-meaning but ignorant people around them, or their unwillingness to separate from people and things that are detracting from their heart.
Yeah.
And boy, what a sad testimony when you have someone that's been endowed with greatness, and they let their heart go lacking.
Wow.
It's a sad testimony, and I guess I'm so sensitive to it. You look at me like, wow, Irv, you are so passionate about this.
But I totally understand where you're coming from.
But we've been there.
Yeah.
I know you've been there. I know your story, and so I know you've been there. And quite honestly, folks, if you don't know John Cruz's story, go find out where he's speaking and just go sit there. Do yourself a favor and go listen to my partner's story, because I'm going to tell you what, if you leave uninspired, here's a clue. You're dead. All right? And the fact that I know this about you, and I'm on the air with you every day, and you're sitting here knowing what I know, is nothing short of a miracle in my mind, because something had to happen to bring you through the places where you've been.
And, and it's these lessons like the ones that we're talking about today.
Sure.
When we talk about the 4 Ps, it's those principles that you hold on to. It's those things that help you tune yourself, if you will, to make certain that you're running at optimal conditions, optimal speeds for success. And, you made the comment, when you don't have anything else to hold on to, you hold on to, those things that you know are the right thing.
Correct.
And in your business, I challenge you. How well are you doing? How is your business? And I would venture to say that if you're not doing as well as you would like, it's not always market conditions.
No.
Because I could find 10 other people that are doing exactly what you do that are wildly successful at it.
That's right. Right now.
Right now.
That's right.
I don't care how good or bad the market is. Everyone is not failing.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
No.
And even you look at the mortgage business.
Yeah.
And that was a huge worldwide debacle.
Exactly.
And hundreds upon hundreds of companies went out of business.
Sure.
But not everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody floundered.
Nope.
So my thing is that, is your head totally behind what you do? Is your mind primed? Are you investing in your head? Are you investing in your product knowledge, your knowledge of self, your knowledge of your client, your knowledge of your competition? Is your heart in the right place? Are you totally inspired and passionate about what you're doing? Are you an evangelist for what you do? Are you looking to benefit not only yourself but also your fellow man? And I would check that first. That's that thing that we talk about.
That's right.
When you take a lawnmower in to a guy to let him fix it, and the old mechanic, he doesn't immediately just jump down and start fooling with the spark plug and the connection. The first thing he does is unscrews the gas tank and sticks his finger down.
That's exactly right.
That's that simple rule. Let me first just see if there's any gas in the tank.
Let's start there.
Let's start there. And this is your gas in the tank. Before you look at those academic things that may be, in your mind, the reason why you're not succeeding, you first have to look at yourself. You may need to get yourself tuned up.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. In the next segment, we're going to come back, folks, and we're going to talk about hands.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to talk about hands and what's in your hands, perhaps what's not in your hands, or more importantly, what are you doing with your hands? And
are they in your pockets?
Are they in your pockets, or are they in somebody else's pockets? We don't know, but maybe we'll think about that when we come back. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. When you need credit help, you can get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081. Stay with us, folks. The education continues right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Welcome back to the show, guys. We're talking about the 4 H's, and the 4 H's relate to small business success. Do you operate by these principles? Are these principles evident in your business model? And these aren't things that you're going to have written in a business plan somewhere. These are the things that have to be ingrained in you. This is the type of standard that you as the entrepreneur and the owner set in your organization, your industry. If you want to give us a call, it's not too late. You can reach us at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here is 347-857-3958. Irv, we've talked about the 4 H's for the last 40 minutes or so, and we've gone through head, we've gone through heart, and now we're down to hands.
Right.
And I know that some people, when they think hands, what do you mean hands? How do I need hands to find that small business success? Well, let's talk about the way things were in the 20th century.
Sure.
In the 19th century.
Okay.
What were the 3 biggest industries? The 3 biggest industries that existed back then.
Well, let's see. You had cotton.
Yes, you did.
You had cattle.
Yes, you did.
Oil.
Yes, you did.
Maybe I'd throw in timber.
Yeah, but when you think about, let's throw that in. I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So we'll say timber, cotton, cattle, and oil.
Right.
What's the constant that an individual had to possess in order to build wealth off of any of those 4?
You had to have help.
But even before your help.
Yep.
What was the major thing?
Well, let's see. You had to have resources. You had to have money. You had to have time. You had to have people.
How do you grow timber?
Well, you had to have. You can't grow timber. You have to have trees.
Okay. Well, where do you find oil?
Well, in the ground.
So you had to own.
You had to own real estate.
You had to own real estate.
Yeah.
So the thing was, for you to make money, and I'm talking mega bucks, major money. In the 18th, 19th, and 20th century, if it was cotton, cattle, oil, or timber, and I'm going to add that to my list from now on, because that was a big industry.
That's huge.
And you had to have land.
That's right.
So now we come into the 21st century, right? Now, I don't know about your old man, but mine didn't leave me 1 million acres.
No, mine neither.
And if you're going to build generational wealth.
Not even a mule.
Not even a mule. Not even 40 acres. So, well, the thing is, if you're going to build generational wealth at this point in time, think about it. All the money has been practically earned as it relates to cotton, cattle, timber, and oil.
Yeah, those people are already in position.
And if you weren't left 1 million acres, chances are you're not going to participate in that wealth progression.
Right.
So when we talk about hands, what has to exist now is people.
That's right.
Hands. No matter what you're doing, no matter how big your corporation may be or how small you are, the only way to grow it is with hands, which means that you have to infuse your business model with people who are buying into what you're doing, and those are your hands.
No doubt.
So where money is absent, generally, it lacks hands.
Right.
If you're not making money in your organization, let me take a look in your sales department. You have no sales department.
Right.
If you're not really, if you're not finishing in the black every month, it may not be because you're not making enough money, but you may not have enough hands that are helping you with the money that's being earned. Hands are a necessary element to what you're doing. You're not going to build wealth unless you have hands included in what you do.
Boy, that's huge, John, because you know what? What happens with people who don't have hands is, guess what, folks? You are going to run out of time.
Yes, you are.
That's the problem. Hands allow you to fold time. It allows you to compound time, which compounds your productivity.
That's it.
And boy, guess what? If you can't do that, or you're unwilling or unable to do that for whatever reason, you're going to be stuck with very, very limited success.
You're limited in what you can do by yourself.
That's right.
You have to include someone else. And then I'm going to take it a step further, Irv. When you get those hands, then you have to take great care of them.
Absolutely.
I mean, to some degree, the people you employ are almost your customer.
Well, we talk about that. Bertrand talks about Bertrand McHenry, our good friend here at Small Business Today Radio. He talks about internal and external customers.
Right.
And let me tell you what, if you're in business for yourself, you better take darn good care of your internal customers. These people who are working in your business on your behalf, those folks that you're directly tied to, those are internal customers. They may not necessarily be people who are generating revenue. In fact, they may even be people that you're spending money to be with or to have associated with you.
Right.
But boy, those are internal customers. Even though you may be paying them, those still need to be looked at much like you would a customer.
Absolutely. You have to take care of your hands. First of all, you have to get hands. You have to employ hands in your model. You have to get people on board, and the only way to do that is to become an evangelist for what you do for your business.
Sure.
Motivate and inspire other people. Now, Dr. DeMartini has a different approach to motivation and inspiration, but I believe that when you're motivated and happy and just supercharged, it rubs off on your fellow person.
Oh, it absolutely does. It absolutely does.
And so when you're motivated, inspired, and evangelizing what you do, it encourages others to want to participate, want to get behind what you're doing, and you have to have those hands. We talk about wealth progressions on this show, and there are 3 wealth progressions. There's the arithmetic, there's the geometric, and there's the exponential.
Right.
The exponential wealth is wealth that we're accustomed to hearing Bill Gates earning, and that sort of thing. The only way that you get there are with hands.
That's right. And folks understand, when we say exponential, we're talking about that's what I was getting at, John, earlier when I was talking about folding time.
Mm-hmm.
Folding time is exponential.
Right.
It's not a geometric progression at all.
Right.
It's exponential.
That's exactly
because if you have 1,000 people, 1,000 pairs of hands, if you will, operating all in 1 minute, do you have 1 minute or 1,000 minutes?
Right.
That's exponential.
1,000 minutes over the span of 60 seconds.
That's exactly right.
That's exponential.
That's exponential.
I love that.
And there's no way you can count it any other way. That's exponential.
That's exactly right. Man, you know what? That's why I love doing this show with you, man. You always open another door somewhere, and I walk in, and it's, 20,000 square foot. It's always enough room for me to move into. I love that. I love that.
That's wonderful, man.
We've been talking about the 4 H's. We're up to hands. Remember, the first H, and these H's have to be in order. It doesn't come any other order. It starts with your head. The vision that you see for yourself and your business starts in your head. That's where it first grows. That's where it first gains legs and viability. It's in your head. Then it moves to your heart. You're inspired. You're passionate. You're evangelizing. Then when you go into put your business model at work, you grab hands, you get people involved, get people working and moving in the same direction. And then last but not least, when your head is in the right place, when your heart is in the right place, when you have the proper amount of hands, then you get hip.
Yeah, I feel hip.
Hip is where you want to be, baby.
Yeah. I mean,
it's all about hip.
What is hip?
Hip is money.
Hip is money.
And the reason we say hip, because usually you put your money in what?
You put it in your hip pocket.
You put it in your hip pocket. So when you want the hip pocket to grow, You will do the things that are incumbent upon you as a business owner. Your head, your heart, your hands, and your hip, and we'll drive that point home here in a minute.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, give them a call today at 888-716-5022. Stay with us, folks. The education continues. We're in the home stretch. Get your pen out. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disastrous, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show, and I'm so disappointed that nobody called. You know, I just knew somebody was going to call and say something to us today. You know, and now it's too late. I'm going to give you the number, 347-857-3958. Write it down for tomorrow's show. But I think we had a great show, even though we didn't get a phone call.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It's always a great show. You know, I'm always, hey, look, I'm going to put it like this, man. Whether people, you know, with so many listeners around the country, there's nowhere else and nobody else that can get this kind of information from, I believe, in the media and about small business other than here.
I can't think of another place. And if you know of another place, please direct us there.
Yeah, let us know. We'll check them out.
We'll definitely check them out. Yeah. I mean, you know, iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely. And let me tell you what, folks, it's a good thing to listen to this show when you're planning on growing your business. Now, if you got this thing going where you don't want to grow your business because you've made all the money you can possibly handle, then perhaps this is not your show.
Well, I tell you what, if that is you, then you need to give us an email, either Irvin, ERVIN, at cruiseandhughes.com or John, JOHN, at cruiseandhughes.com, because you need to be a guest so that the other people who listen to this show day in, day out, each and every month can learn from you.
Absolutely. And maybe
you're the type of person that we're looking for.
Maybe you're not the kind of person who wants to tell people how you made yours. In which case, we have another show for you. So you want to tune in to Cruise and Hughes and get the other information, because guess what? You got to have a part of you that wants to give back.
Absolutely. I think it's very necessary. We've been talking about the 4 H's today: head, heart, hands, and hip. And hip means money. When your head's right, your heart's right, you have enough hands working on your project, the hip grows, and that's because money comes in. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. Today's show has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. If you'd like to get a copy of the magazine that we produce each and every month, you can go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
Irv and I will see you tomorrow.
Take care.